Hey guys, what's up guys? How are you guys doing? Welcome. This is gonna be a rather long and serious conversation that I want to have. Um, Previously, I always took out the notepad and did my story on Twitter, but I kind of have a feeling that I'm not reaching everyone with Twitter. Um, there's always been a bit of an idea that I don't want to come over as an attention whore or whatever. So lately, I haven't really been talking too much about my issues, and also on my own live streams, I do not answer the question, "Yo, how are you doing today?" Because I don't want to lie to people and say, "Yo, I'm doing amazing, I'm doing well." So I just try to not really answer the question because honestly, I would just have to say I'm doing pretty terrible. But I'm gonna go into that later on. If you've never seen my face or if you've never heard my voice before, I'm Thomas or Thoboying. I stream RuneScape and I make some YouTube videos as well for 3.5 years now, almost 4 years. So if you don't know who I am, that's who I am, and that's why some people have started clicking on this video. And maybe you are just interested because of the title. Welcome. If you're not interested at all, or if you think that I'm just trying to bait people in watching my videos, just leave. It's a serious thing that I want to talk about, and if you don't really care, then just don't watch. So, as the title suggests, I do have a brain tumor in my brain. It's about the size of 3 centimeters across. It used to be about 20, like a year ago. And then between the last and the second last MRI scan, it showed growth, which was just a rather big surprise because I initially thought that it was not growing, right? So that's why I'm making this video to keep you guys updated. Now, I don't want this to be purely an update video, but also explain to people like the entire story, because a lot of people don't know. Some people come in and they're like, "Oh, I had no idea," and I think most of those people are mainly watching my YouTube videos, and I've never spoken about this on my YouTube at all. So I do want to talk about it right here, right now. So yeah, the video is more to inform people, so I don't have to talk about it. Also, it sounds a bit weird because I do realize that if you're coming into my chat, or if you see me in game or whatever, and you say, "Yo, man, how are you doing? How are you holding up?" or how's life now? Please don't ask that. It sounds really rude to say because I do realize you're asking that in like as interest or being nice, and I really do appreciate it. But currently, since I'm just not doing well, I don't want to continuously talk about shit. So yeah, bit of a friendly question, just just don't really ask how I'm doing because it will just be a negative story. So for people that have no idea what's going on, let me start at the beginning. So that is now more than 2 years ago. 2 years ago and 4 months ago, some weird attacks started happening in my left arm. I didn't know what it was. It was weird. It made me feel really weird. Some weird tingling sensation in my shoulder and arm. My fingers, not my thumb. That's just pretty funny. If you look in the Campbell, you see that the thumb is a different brain area than the hand and the arm. So that's pretty funny. As someone who studied biology, that's interesting. And I also have diabetes. So the first person I talked about was my diabetic nurse. And they kind of waved it away. They said it will probably go away. It's probably nothing. And so I waited another half a year, 5-6 months, but those attacks repeatedly started coming back. Every week or so I would have a little attack, sometimes weeks without, sometimes a little bit more. So I went back and they assigned me to go towards the neurological department of the hospital, made a CT scan, and that indeed showed a tumor in the right side of my brain, about right here. It is a little bit on the top, but it does grow inwards. And at that stage, it was about 2 centimeters in diameter. And not a lot of activity. What they do during one of those MRI scans is they inject fluids into your body, so like contrast fluids, which will then show whether there's activity or not. So that would tell us whether it's an aggressive type of growth or whether it's just being there, being an annoying little thing. And those fluids show that there was practically no activity. Now, from that first hospital, I ran away as fast as I could because that lady that was helping me, yeah, it just wasn't good. The things that she said to me or wanted from me were really, I don't know, they weren't really discussed well enough, and it was just like, you do this and do that. Like there was a certain medicine she wanted me to use for the epileptic attacks, and when I started reading about that medicine, I told myself, well, all these things that I cannot do. I wasn't allowed to drive a car. I wasn't allowed to drink. I wasn't allowed to, I don't know, and my mood would change and everything. Like, it would affect so much that I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I want to go on a vacation, and that's what I did actually. I didn't even collect the medicine, and I took my car and I went to Spain and France, which was pretty interesting because apparently I wasn't allowed to drive a car at all, and I drove like 5,000 kilometers. So that was fun. That was nice. And another thing that she said, which was really weird. Wait, so I mean, I choose to not use the medicine because those attacks once or twice a week maximum were a lot less worse, I would say, than the effects of the medicine. So that was my own decision to not take it. And another thing is that she checked several things of my body, like my reflexes, and she was like, yeah, I can definitely see a difference between the left side of your body and the right side of your body. Like, all right, that sounds interesting. Of course, a lot of reflexes are mainly produced by the spinal cord and not by the brain. Of course, the brain has an influence on it as well, but I was like, all right, that's weird. When I went to another doctor, the doctor said, well, that shouldn't be the case with something like this. So he checked my reflex and he was like, well, they're kind of weak. So they're really like not very strong, but they are the same, like left and right is the same. So all those kind of things just made me really happy that I moved over to a different doctor because she was just weird. So this doctor, he also didn't like prescribe me anything apart from some kind of drug that would completely knock me out if I were to have an epileptic attack. Midazolam is it's called, I think. It would just knock you out, would just make you fall asleep. And I've used it once. I slept pretty well that day. I don't really tend to use it at all because why would you use a drug that would make you fall asleep instead of being able to continue what you're doing, right? So and so more MRI scans later, the growth was stagnated, or at least it was always the same. There was nothing really wrong with it, with the tumor itself. I still had my attacks every once in a while. I had my epileptic attacks in my right arm, right side of the brain, left arm. Until a while ago, until like 2 or 3 months ago. That's also when I started posting things on Twitter about it again. Apparently it has grown from 24 millimeters, so 2.4 centimeters to about 30. So that's a pretty decent growth, I would say, like 20%. And which is really weird because when I had that scan, there were no extra issues. It wasn't like a lot of extra issues. I wasn't feeling amazing, which was also because I was just sitting inside playing RuneScape, streaming not going extremely well, not having a job IRL, so that was all not going all too amazing. Up until 3 months ago, 3.5 months ago already, I got myself a teaching job again, which was great. So I started working there. Things really started looking up. I actually got emotional for the first time in years when I actually felt more happiness just because I was doing something again instead of just sitting inside. That was amazing. But then the results came in from that scan, and that the growth actually, that there was actually some growth. And the weird part of that was that the issues actually started becoming a lot worse not too long after I heard the results. So I'm not sure whether it's mainly a mentally thing, like whether it's mental that I know things are going worse, that I know things will have to happen. That was also the time where it was discussed, okay, so surgery is definitely gonna happen. So I'm not sure whether it's a mental thing or whether there's actually things going wrong. I do suspect that there's actually things going wrong inside the brain, because currently I have like an energy span of about 2 to 3 hours a day, and then I'm just toast, I'm just done. Which is really annoying, because if I want to teach, that's at least 3-4 hours a day. I mean, I can do it, but I'm extremely exhausted afterwards, and when I have to check a test that takes longer than 2 hours, then I can't do it in one go. I just can't keep the concentration. Also, the epileptic attacks come up when I have to concentrate quite a bit, so that's really annoying as well with my gaming, because I love gaming, I really, really do, but after 2 hours I'm just toast, I'm just done, which is really annoying because back in the day as a kid, like, I mean, my life hasn't been that crazily amazing, but every time when I got home, I just turned on my computer, played the game, felt nice, you know, just a bit of a lot of people, it's a bit of a cliche, but definitely RuneScape or gaming in general definitely has been an escape for me. And it's a bit of a painful thing to realize that that escape is no longer a real escape, because I can't really do it for long anyway. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. But other than that, more and more epileptic attacks. There have been weekends where I had 5 or 6 in 48 hours, where it would have been 1 or 2 in a week. Weird pressure on the brain itself, headaches. So it really is time for that surgery. One annoying thing about hospitals, I think, in my opinion, is that they aren't very clear on when things are gonna happen. They are like, yeah, we will send you a letter with an invitation to visit the doctor, and you will have to wait. And they don't really tell you anything, probably because they don't want to tell stuff that's wrong. I will come to that later, because that definitely did happen. It's always interesting to see those smart people actually tell you stuff that's not true. But yeah, so for the plans for the next few months, so I spoke with my neurological surgeon today. I discussed the things that could go wrong, the things that are probably gonna go all right. So the plan is, in about, starting from 2 weeks, I'm gonna be seeing the people that are gonna put me, you know, into sleep. There's someone designed to be at the surgery, because it's gonna be a surgery while I'm awake. They're gonna wake me up, so they're gonna put me to sleep, cut the brain open, whatever, and then gonna wake me up so they can do tests with me, which sounds pretty horrifying, if I'm totally honest with you. It sounds pretty horrifying, but we will see what's all that gonna be. But yeah, one of the people is gonna be checking how my language is going, so they're gonna talk to me, and I'm gonna have to talk back so they can check whether that's all gonna go all right. And another person is gonna check my sensory and motory things with my arms and whatever. So yeah, during the surgery itself, they will check whether they're doing things right. I'm really curious. Let's say my arm stops working during surgery. What the hell are they gonna do? Are they like, okay, well, we're gonna stop here. Sorry, your arm just, you know, we lost your arm. I have no idea what that's all gonna do. But yeah, basically, the risks. One of the risks that's very low is the the motory part. So the moving of the arm is pretty safe. Of course, he said things can go wrong, but that's pretty safe. One of the things that is going to be an issue slightly, of course, I don't know what the percentages are. I don't even care what the percentages are, but he told me that there isn't a chance that the sensory part can be damaged of my left arm, which is of course something I don't want to happen. But, you know, I'd rather have that than having epileptic attacks all the time, because that's generally the idea, that the epileptic attacks will go away, and sensory parts can heal itself over time, maybe, hopefully. We'll have to see. But yeah, for the next month or so, basically the conversations with those people, the people that are gonna put me to sleep, and the people that are gonna do tests on me during surgery, and then in probably about 3 to 5 weeks time, the surgery will actually take place. For the surgery itself, I'm gonna be in the hospital a day up front, so they can do another MRI scan on the brain, so they will have 100% fresh image of the brain itself, so they're not cutting into weird stuff because of an old image. That would have been hilarious. And then after surgery, I'll be in the intensive care for a day. Just something that I always do after brain surgery. They always put you in intensive care, so that's all good. And then another day or 2 or 3 in the hospital itself to get going again. So that's one of the things that was discussed wrongly by my other doctor. He said that, well, if the surgery is successful, you'll be the same old after 3 or 4 days. Well, that's not the case. There'll be a healing progress between 6 and 8 weeks. which does sound really long. Now, I'm not sure whether I'm going to feel worse than I feel right now. Because if I just feel the same as right now, but not have the epileptic attacks, I'm pretty sure I will feel better. Because mainly the epileptic attacks just keep me from doing stuff, because right now there's many things that would require me to put attention into something, and I just don't, because I don't want to have the epileptic attacks. You know, I just don't do it because I don't want to have those attacks. So what it's going to mean for my job, I don't really know. I'm probably going to be working for another 2 weeks or something, and then it's vacation for 2 weeks, and probably after that vacation, everything is going to start rolling and everything is going to happen. Probably during the vacation, there might be something starting already, and then we have the 6 to 8 weeks of recovery. I'm not sure whether I'm going to try to work during that recovery, because right now, every day when I sit at home on my own, I don't feel amazing. But when I go to work, of course, it's really tiring, really exhausting. But when I do get home, I do feel more of a succession, more of a use of the day. So on the one hand, it's really exhausting to go to work, but on the other hand, it also keeps me from going insane. So maybe I will try to work as fast as I can just to do something. I don't know. We'll see. What it's all going to mean for my YouTube videos. Which YouTube videos? I haven't made one in over a couple months. I don't really do YouTube for an income or anything. I do it for the fun, and if I don't have the time for it, then, you know, so be it. I don't really make a lot of money with it. I don't do it for the money. So if I don't have anything to post, then I just don't, basically. And streaming is streaming. I might try to stream quite a bit, probably without a face cam, without a microphone, maybe, and just stream whatever I'm up to and keep myself busy, because if I don't do anything at all, I just don't ever leave my bed, which is not a good idea. So yeah, a recovery process of about 6 to 8 weeks, probably 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks until the surgery is actually gonna happen. So for the next 3 months or something, I will still be in terror, I would want to say. But after that, we can definitely start looking up, and I can't wait. I really cannot wait to get good again. I really want to go back to the normal me. I mean, I've never been the most happiest person alive. Some people have always told me you look a little bit not happy. It's also partly just my face. I mean, if it's just my resting bitch face, right? If I don't think about anything, I just look like I'm feeling really shit. So that doesn't help. But yeah, that's okay. Although I don't really have much else to say. I hope I can continue streaming. I hope people will stay with me, because lately the streams have not been for my viewers, but mainly for me, because I just want to entertain myself, and a lot of people that have been watching have really been entertaining me instead of me them. So that's nice. So if you're one of those people that still hangs out in my chat, thank you. Really appreciate it. And other than that, I think this is where I will end. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. It might take a while before I respond. There's a lot of people that want my attention. There's a lot of people that I want to talk to. So if you're not in a close group, then I'm very sorry. I might ignore you for a while, but I hope you can understand that there is a limit of what I can do. I hope this will reach a lot of people, and I do hope that people don't see this in a negative way. I'm not looking for attention. I'm not looking for your money. I live in the Netherlands. I have health insurance. I don't need money for the surgery. I don't want people to donate for this. If I get healed up again and I start streaming again and you enjoy my streams, go for it. But for this, no, I don't need your money. So that's not where these videos or news flashes are for. Please don't think that way. If you do, then you probably just messed up in the head yourself. Everyone, have a great day. Have a great evening. I will see you guys later.